I'm Jim, and welcome to Jim's Mix. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, don't cost you anything. Questions, comments down in the comment section. I want to talk to you a little bit about the rifles. Some people had asked me questions about, kind of wanted to know what was going on with it. Well, I have to apologize for being a little while since I've done a video, but it's been hunting season in Wyoming. We took some time, went down to Texas for Thanksgiving, visiting some friends and all of that stuff. So I wanted to give you an update on this 25-06 Ackley Improved. It's a rifle that I built this whole thing right here in my own little shop. And I want to talk to you about the components and how I put it together and some of the rationale behind this. I wanted a rifle that I could take to Texas or other places and do some long range, maybe pig hunting, coyote hunting here in Wyoming, varmints and things like that. And also maybe even some bigger animal hunting. I don't recommend the 25-06 Ackley Improved, even though it would be capable of doing so. I don't recommend it for elk, or it would do fine for mule deer. And that's one of the reasons I chose the setup I've got, is I kind of wanted a universal rifle, but I need to tell you honestly and truly, this is not a mountain stalking rifle. This thing is heavy. And I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. Let's start out with the basics of what I started with. The donor action came off of an older Remington 700 BDL in 30-06 that somebody had actually shot some old military ammo in that had mercury primers, and they didn't clean it. So the barrel looked like a rusty road culvert that had been in the ground for about 80 years. So the barrel was no good, but the action was still in good shape. And so that became the donor for this rifle. So this is a 700 Remington long action, non-magnum bolt face, 30-06. The 25-06 parent cartridge of the 25-06 Ackley Improved is a 30-06 based case, which a lot of rifle rounds are. So I guess let's start. It's topped with a Burris EL1, and I believe it's a 4.5 to 14 by 42 millimeter. Folks, bang for the buck. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to do some reviews on the Burris scopes. These things are excellent, adjustable for parallax, great turrets, very accurate scopes, great glass. I really love them. If you want, this scope will cost you less than $250, and it is absolutely great. This is a 1-inch tube, and you can look at that stuff. I used a McGowan barrel on this rifle, ordered it off of their website, and it was $440 delivered to my door. It's a 1-in-9 twist. It is a stainless barrel. It is Cerakoted in armor black. It is a Remage barrel. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't know if Nick can catch it. It's pretty dark in here, but it has a barrel nut on it, like a Savage, rim edge, Remington barrel threads, and a Savage style of nut that is on here, which lets you adjust headspace. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. Again, it's a 1-in-9 twist. It's 26 inches long. I did not have it fluted, and I did not have it threaded. There was no intent of using a suppressor. The weight of the rifle and the recoil for a 25-06 Ackley Improved isn't that much anyway. It does have a recessed target crown. And again, it was $440 and change delivered to the door. It took about 5 weeks to get it, which I didn't think was bad at all. And they did Cerakote the barrel nut for me. It has the factory Remington recoil lug on it, which was flat and true, and I actually took to the machine shop and had it checked. So it was in good shape. Again, I used just a regular Remington action wrenches and the Wheeler action wrenches, stuff like that, to get this off. And it was hard to get off. You need to know going in that these old Remington barrels are hard to get off. And more than likely, the barrel you take off is going to suffer damage. You need to know that before you start this process. If you don't want damage to that barrel, take it to a gunsmith. If you want to DIY this, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. This is a medium heavy Palma profile, which is pretty heavy and thick. It is mounted in one of my favorite stock chassis. It is a Magpul Hunter for the 700. They make them for other ones. A lot of people complain about the grip being a sweep grip back here instead of a more squared off, but I'm a hunter and I like to take it hunting. I've got a Magpul bipod on it. The thing I like is length of pull is fully adjustable. The comb height is adjustable by changing these pieces. They pop out. You see the bolt won't come out until you take this cheek piece off, but that's a matter of taking one screw on the side and you have that out. So again, this is a Remington 700 30-06. It's got a Timney trigger in it and a new firing pin and spring. It was a little tired. I did jewel the bolt, and there's a video on my website. It is a Leopold Piccaninny rail on top. So here's where the Ackley Improved comes out. And you have to buy go and no-go gauges, and you can adjust your barrel, follow the instructions. McGowan tells you what the torque needs to be on this barrel nut. So let's talk about the cartridge itself. Its parent cartridge is a 25-06 Remington. I'm going to let Nick zoom in here, and I'm going to hold up a piece of paper, so I'll be hiding behind it. So this is the 25-06 Remington. Fine cartridge in and of itself. P.O. Ackley, and I don't remember the years and dates, I think 25-06 Remington became a standard in about 1969. P.O. Ackley would soon find this cartridge to Ackley-ize, if you will, and to change its case shape and dimensions. And I don't know if he can get it in there. I'm going to have to put the paper down because I want to show you this. You'll notice that the shoulder is moved up to a steeper angle, as well as the case body itself is a little straighter. So some of the taper has been removed here. This shoulder angle has changed. However, you can headspace with a 25-06 headspace gauge, or you can get one for the 25-06 Ackley Improved. The datum, this area here for the chamber length, is the same. Here's the cool thing about all the Ackley Improved cartridges, if they are done correctly. Some of the older cartridges, this will not ring true for, but all of the well done, I've got a 280 Ackley Improved, 25-06 Ackley Improved. I can take this factory 25-06. This is Hornaday's Whitetail Hunter. To be honest, it was the cheapest 25-06 that would have decent brass. So you take this 117 grains. You take this 25-06 Remington cartridge. You fire it in your gun. If your gun head spacing is correct, that factory cartridge is going to go in, and it's going to have a little resistance when you put the bolt down. You'll know your head spaced right. You fire that cartridge the first time, and it'll turn it into an Ackley Improved cartridge. The wonderful thing about Ackley Improved, number one, you pick up 100, 200 feet per second, and we'll talk about some load data in just a second. But you almost totally eliminate stretching your brass. Almost totally eliminated. This brass is on its third, this is its third reload. And I'm going to talk to you about what I'm shooting in it and some of the options. This thing compares very close to 25-06 Ackley Improved, is really close to a 257 Weatherby Magnum. It's only a couple hundred feet a second behind it. This is turning out to be a really fast barrel, meaning I'm getting good velocities and good charges with the loads that I'm running. So let's talk about some of those things that I'm running. I'm running 115 grain Nosler partition. That's this round here. And I'm running this one out at 3,240 feet a second. And that is not running anywhere near a max load with it. You can kind of hear powder. I'm using a CCI large rifle primer. I've actually loaded these with IMR 4350, and it is, like I said, 3240. It really likes these Nosler partition 5-shot groups at 100 yards. The last time I had it out shooting it, 3 5-shot groups. The biggest 5-shot group that I got out of it was 0.57 inches. 0.57 inches at 100 yards. And that's 115 grain Nosler partition. Its next one that it really likes good, and this bullet really performs good, is, you see this up here, is a Nosler ballistic tip, 115 grains. Again, IMR 4350, and I'm not going to give you the powder weights. That's going to be up to you to discover. I'm not responsible for your reloading and what may happen in your reloading. You need to be careful. You did notice that this rifle is empty and clear, and you saw that. Haven't been around the trigger. But this one, shooting at 3244 to 3257, shooting 5-shot groups at 100 yards. The largest group that this bullet printed was 0.64. I find it very unusual that a partition outshoots this ballistic tip. And I may play with this a little bit more on overall length. The next one, and this right here is probably one of the best varmint loads that I have used. And this is a Spear Hot Core 100 grain. Again, IMR 4350. This thing is 3,400 plus feet a second. It is shooting into, the largest group shot with it was 0.62. And I think I had a flyer in that. Those are 5-shot groups. A lot of people shoot 3-shot groups, and if you've got a lightweight hunting barrel, then that may be what you get out of it before it heat soaks and starts throwing that 4th round away. But with this barrel size and weight, it's going to be fine. The longer length barrel, you can get a little more velocity out of it, of course. How much is an argument for people to have all day long about stuff. So the 25-06 Ackley Improved is, to my liking, between the 280 Ackley Improved and the 25-06 Ackley Improved, they are 2 of the best Ackley Improved cartridges, in my opinion, that are out there. So building this rifle, again, a donor action, you can go extremes in any way. You've got $440 in this, 200 so in the stock. Of course, you can pick up less expensive stocks. What I like about them is they're 5-round AICS compatible magazines. I think I said that right. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody in the comments. The brass, again, you can get 25-06 Remington. You can't, I haven't found a good source for 25-06 Ackley Improved brass. But at fireforming is easy. You can sight your rifle in while you're fireforming. You can even hunt with the fireforming rounds. They're going to perform just as well fireforming as they would in a 25-06 rifle. It's just changing that size and chamber. So if you want to build this yourself, you can do that. I highly recommend McGowan's rifle barrels. They're sort of neighbors up in Montana, but they are excellent to work with. When I put this thing together on the internet and put the order in, you can pay half, or you can pay the whole thing, pay the other half before they ship it. There's all kinds of options on there. But if you have questions, they are great to work with, very knowledgeable. They have the wrenches for the barrel nuts. If you don't have one, they can get you the go, no-go gauges and everything like that. They did an excellent job on this chamber. I told them I wanted a standard chamber. I did not want a throated chamber. I wanted a standard chamber. barrel life on a 25-06 Ackley Improved, I don't know what it's going to be. It will not be as bad as a 28 Nosler, I can tell you that, which is about 1,500 rounds for a barrel life. So the 25-06 is going to give you a little bit better than that. So I hope that answers some of the questions that were out there, and maybe open some dialogue and have some questions on that. And again, this is the Burriscope, and reviews are coming on those soon. I'm also going to be going and making some interviews at different gun-related places here in Wyoming and close to us, because we in the shooting community need to be aware of options for us, where that might be, and a means of ways to contact them as they are. So any questions, please leave them in the comments. I hope I've answered all the questions. I think that's all I had wanted to go through. Again, research your load data. If you want to do a 25-06, there is nothing wrong with the 25-06 Remington. Fine cartridge in and of itself. But I just like the Ackley Improved. Brass lasts longer. Get a little more velocity out of it. Hey, and don't discount the cool factor of having a 25-06 Ackley Improved. Thank you for watching the video. Like, share, comment below. Again, be safe in your gun handling. Take care. Enjoy your Second Amendment rights. God bless you.